I'm back in the UK right now, and it sucks.
Welcome back to 1 Hour Climbs. This is a series where I task myself to climb and film as many routes as I physically can within 60 minutes. I'll be showing transparency of the specific route, grade, and what kind of style the climb is, and hopefully you can go try it for yourself. Sometimes it will be repeats of climbs that I have already done, and sometimes it will be in a completely new centre, trying the routes out for the very first time. I hope you enjoy.
It's a completely new set here at High Sports, so I've got the top floor and the bottom floor to play with. So yeah, it might not be the best, but we shall see. I'm not feeling very strong at the minute. And this is part of my warm-up routine. Just swing. Okay.
Right, we're kicking things off upstairs on this orange climb, which was graded a 6B+. So it is on the mini slab in the corner. I had this really cool move where you pop up with a pistol squat and you lock on a hill to do like a no hand switch. I'm going to name that. Anyway, so yeah, straight pop up, nice little compression. And here comes the nice hill with the switch. Honestly, that felt so clean. It actually looks quite clean on video. Anyway, massive high right foot and all the way up to the finish. A really, really fun climb. Would recommend.
Let's try and do things differently.
Talking of doing things differently, we have an orange again and a 6B plus again. Really, really fun climb. Had some really interesting moves. These holds were actually really deceiving. You had to get them in the right spot and they weren't that juggy. But this is probably the favourite move, is where you sort of flick your left foot out and you come up underneath yourself onto sort of two, I wouldn't say jugs, but they are kind of jugs. But anyway, kicking things off, here comes the little flick. Nice little control. My foot is definitely not dabbing on that yellow, by the way. And then I'm tucking myself underneath. And I come out over the top. Comes a really nice flick again. No, there is no flick. You can tell this is my flash attempt. By me panting as well. And doing things very differently. But a very enjoyable climb.
Oh my god.
Moving on to something which was, I think, meant to be dynamic, is this till. The assessors gave it a 6B. I included this climb because I managed to break the start, which I think was an intended dyno, but with my lanky span, I think it's a +6 on the ape index, centimeters, not inches. I managed to span it. But obviously anything which is around a V4, you can normally better break anything. But a really fun climb, especially that start. I was really happy I did that. And then basically just not quite jugs. The last move was a little bit challenging. Well, even though I didn't make it look like it was. But yeah, really good fun. And let's go on to something a lot harder now.
Talking to myself.
Okay, up next is this red 6C+. I'm not sure what type of style of climb it is, but it had some really cool moves. So there's an initial pop up to a crimp, which I hated, but it had some really good mobility moves. That doesn't look that mobile, but that's better angle. Coming up, and yeah, a lot of bumping. It was a lot of fun. So here's onto the initial crimp, up onto a side, high foot, and then basically just work your way up. It was really flowy. It worked really, really well. The last move I actually did have to mentally prepare myself because I nearly backed out of it. I don't know if you saw it, but my wrist hit both of the final holds going up for it. That hurt a lot. But yeah, it's cool. Got it done. It was a flash. Enjoyed it.
That was really nicely set.
Right, we've got a till. It is a 6C+. I would definitely agree with this. It's definitely a 6C+. Had some really cool features over the big volumes, tiny little footholds, this horrible sloper. This is definitely the crux. So I filmed this after actually sending it, and this made so much more sense to do it this way. And I don't know why I didn't do it, but oh well, I still got it done. So this first move was a small slap onto the sloper, which made me feel like my wrist was going to pop out, which was really, really hard to keep the tension. And then up to some crimps here. And I kind of got a bit too high. And I realised if I put my right hand in there, I wasn't going to be able to match in there because there was not much room at all. So I toe hooked underneath with my left foot and went over to the volume. And I feel like that just saved me a whole world of problems. Quite happy with that. And yeah, straight up to the finish. Really enjoyable climb. I would give it a 6E plus. Right, moving on back downstairs, we have this blue 6E plus. It had these really awful slopey crimps, but because the setters have put them in a really awkward position, it meant you had to get really push yourself against the wall, as you'll see in a second. They were not fun, and my feet kept slipping on all of these. Here we go. Not my favourite, but I had to really tuck myself against the wall. As you'll see in a couple of seconds, I have a really bad problem, or just bad technique really, of not pressing down the toes and having the right angle on these large blue holds at the bottom, because I kept slipping.
Hui!
I had to really work hard with toeing down and keeping the pressure so I didn't slip. Yeah, but I managed to get through it, and I'll let it play out until the end and watch me struggle.
Oh, what am I doing?
So I tried going back up and climbing back into it, and that second to last hold, it's like a slope crimper type thing. It was a bit greasy, and I just couldn't get it. So with that, I decided to move on. So this last climb was this black, also with clear no-tex holds. They're really, really cool holds. Had some really hard moves on it. I definitely spent most of my time working this. But yeah, I'll let it play out. I had some really cool toe hooks, and the slopers were not grippy at all. You just had to find the real small micro beta spots.
Slipped. It's really hard. I prefer.
And the setters set this as a 7A/V6 if you're into V grades.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it might be a slight dab on that, but we'll take it. Oh my god. Right, that is the end of the session. The session ended abruptly because about 25 school kids came along and I could not be bothered doing that. And I gassed out pretty hard. But yeah, I think I got 5 or 6 climbs done, which was okay. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.